Next day,
Oh my god, that's amazing.
how are you?
I'm great. How are
Sorry, guys, we're
you?
very loud. So if you're not used to us being
Yeah.
loud,
Oh
this
my
is how
god.
we talk. Like
Stop. We are literally, I call her my soul sister because we are alike in every aspect. We're loud. We are spontaneous. So
we
sorry in
sing at the
advance.
dinner table. This
Yes.
is our jam, and
How
we
are
laugh a
you?
lot. So I'm
Exactly.
good, but you have more stories to tell me, girl. So much has happened.
So
You
much.
have to update me. So
Yes.
from Miss Grand 2016, what happened in your journey, like towards Miss
Wow.
Universe? I know we talked about this when we were in Vietnam. You were
Mm-hmm.
like, that dream, I'm gonna go after that dream,
Yeah.
girl. I'm gonna make it happen.
Yeah.
So tell us more about that.
Yeah,
I'm
so
curious. I'm
it's
dying
really
to know.
interesting, and I'm so happy that you reached out to me because I think this dynamic is super interesting for the people who don't know that I've always wanted to do this, and you are a true
Yeah.
testament to really tell that to other people. Like, yeah, this is something that she always talked about. So I'm really excited to obviously talk to you about my journey and all those years that have passed. What have I been doing? Obviously, I want to know about you as well. But in regards to Miss Universe, wow, after Miss Grand, like obviously that I told you
Mhm.
my goal was to go to Miss Universe, representing Puerto Rico. But
Yeah.
years passed, and a goal isn't a straight line. You have your derails, you have your, your curves, your turns,
Yeah.
you have all, it's not a straight line. And I had my distractions, and also at times I didn't know if my goal was achievable or reachable.
Mhm.
But in that journey, I realized, okay, I am the owner of my life. I cannot let my fears dictate what I'm going to accomplish. So that's when I decided to put my fears away and just walk in faith and go for my ultimate goal, which was to represent Puerto Rico in Miss Universe, and I did it.
And this is Madison, guys. I
Yeah.
swear, she has a lot of quotes, a lot of life revelations and mottos. That's
Yeah.
why you're my girl.
Yes, exactly. Like we're deep thinkers. We
Yeah.
like to question. We like to question and answer. We like to even question ourselves. So
Yeah.
we're
That's our
very
bonding
alike.
time.
Yeah. It completely changed my life. I'm really happy that I went through the experience of Miss Grand. I think,
Mhm.
each past step in my life led to my ultimate destination. So
Yeah.
it was such a blessing for me to compete in that pageant. Um, and because I got to meet you, I got to meet, lasting friendships that I still have to this day. And ultimately, it's part of your journey of like self exploration and self
Yeah.
discovery. And for sure, that time in Miss Grand really was a time for like this self-discovery, this
Mhm.
self-transformation. And
Yeah.
it's incredible because you were a part of that. And I remember like we would go back to our hotel rooms, and we shared our bed, and we were just like
Yeah.
talking about life. And
Yeah.
those moments I will never forget because they were so meaningful. They were so
Yeah.
purpose-driven conversations that I will never
Yeah.
forget.
You girl. Girl,
Wow.
you did it. You did it. And I have so
Thank you.
many questions because
Tell me, yes.
how do you achieve the S curve? You are so fit. Like it's on another level.
Oh,
I
thank
work
you.
out a lot lately, but I can never achieve that. Like, what do you do?
A lot of
Girl!
workout, a lot of workout. I think I worked out like 5 times a week, 2 times a day. So it's a lot of discipline, a lot of
Two
dedication.
times a day? Tell me more.
Sometimes,
Like
so like I
morning
would
and then
exactly. So in the morning and at nighttime, and I would try to do 2 times a day, but for sure I would do 5 times a week. And if I had that energy, obviously because my days are filled with activities, interviews, if I had the energy and it wasn't going to drain me, I would go a second time. And
yeah.
especially towards like the last month, I was like, okay, I have to go hard on this because
Yeah.
I really usually my past experience in pageants, I never really liked how I performed in my swimsuit portion. I just never
Really?
felt, yeah, I never felt satisfied. I was like, why did I do that turn like that? I was always so uncomfortable in a bathing suit.
Mm.
It's so uncomfortable, yeah. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to work out to the point where I feel healthy, where I feel fit, where I feel confident. And I'm going to, this
I
is my,
remember you were telling me, like, you were describing me how a Latina's body is really
yes,
different. Like, you girls are curvy, you got that
yes,
booty. So it's like
exactly.
embracing the curves.
It
See, I
was
didn't
hard for
forget
me.
that.
Yeah, it's true. And it was hard for me because I do have curves and I felt kind of uncomfortable, maybe moving my hips, maybe too much, maybe,
Mm.
I don't know,
Oh,
there were so
yeah.
many
Because, guys,
dynamics.
if you have big curves, like, a little bit of movement will look like it's already exaggerated. Like there's a
Exactly.
whole science behind it. So
It's a
I
whole
get where you're
science.
coming from. Yeah.
For sure. It's a science behind it. So I was like, you know what? This is my chance. I'm going all or nothing. Miss Universe for me is all or nothing. I'm going to make sure I feel confident. I feel beautiful in my own skin. And I did that. And now I'm so surprised because people memorize my performance, especially in my swimsuit portion. I was like, wow, look at that.
And your
The area I
national
didn't like.
costume competition, girl.
You
You
know what
did so
happened?
good. Your national costume, that
Oh,
was
thank,
perfect execution. Like you
thank
didn't
you.
just wear it, you wore it.
Oh, thank you.
I was like,
That
that
was
was
also practice.
magical.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you showed some part of it on Instagram already, like
Yeah.
your costume. But then usually the effect will be like when it steps on stage, the surprise is gone. That's why girls usually chose to like they choose not to reveal it. So when you
Okay.
did that
Thank you.
performance on stage, it was still magical
Oh my
because
gosh.
I don't know,
It
like
also, I feel like it's not what you wear, is how you wear it. In the essence, the energy that you're
mm,
portraying, whatever that you have on your skin, on your
yeah,
body. And that my national costume for me was so symbolic in every way that I wanted to make sure that that moment showing that I'm Puerto Rico is magical as well with my national costume. And that was also a lot of practice. I
yeah.
wore that national costume, I think, oh my gosh, so many times. I could put it with my eyes closed. That's how many times I put it on to practice.
Oh,
Yeah, so it was, I made it look easy, but it was a lot of work that was put into it. And I want to say thank you for the designer, Joshua, who really put his heart and soul in making the design. And so I want to especially thank him for helping me as well.
how did you guys actually come up with that? Like, what is the flower? What does it represent? How did you decide on doing that to represent Puerto Rico?
Right. Well, the designer had me in mind as his inspiration. So right off the bat, I was super honored that he designed this thinking of me. And when we go into the elements, it's very symbolic in many ways. I have the Flor de la Maga, which is the national flower of Puerto Rico. I have the gold coqui, which is a little frog that is national. It is from the island and is actually in danger of extinction. So it was very beautiful that I was able to represent two symbolic items from Puerto Rico. There's no doubt when you saw my national costume and you say that is Puerto Rico. There's no question in your mind that
Yeah.
screams Isla del Encanto, the island of enchantment. So it was really
Yeah.
special for me. And never in history has one of the Miss Universe Puerto Rico used the coqui. So for me, it was very beautiful. And there's this myth. I don't know if it's true or not. But this says that the coqui, they tried to move this little frog to Hawaii, which has the same climate as Puerto Rico. It's pretty similar as far as, temperature and weather and whatnot. But the frog at nighttime, what makes it so special, it sings. It goes cookie, cookie. And all at nighttime, you can hear this beautiful song. It's like a song. But when they try to move this frog to Hawaii, it didn't sing. And so I really identify with the coqui because I found my voice, my song in Puerto Rico. And you can put me
That's
wherever you want,
beautiful.
my purpose and my island. So it's very, very meaningful for me.
And I saw a lot of your training as well. Like I would always advise girls to make their trainings variable, and you did this because I saw you taking dance classes as well. So I was like, girl, she's really in it to win it. She's making sure she's not leaving any stone unturned.
Exactly. Oh, you know me. Oh my God, she's incredible. But yes, I took dancing classes to really have the ability to move on stage, to not feel uncomfortable with my movements. Like I mentioned before, I've always felt kind of shy to really embrace my curves, my body, my figure on stage. So these dance classes allowed me to just release a little bit and embrace my body, my movement. So when I get on stage, I already have that rhythm inside my blood. So it was really good. I encourage girls, if they're going into pageants and they feel kind of awkward walking in high heels or maybe doing a little turn and being a little flirty, dance class is an excellent resource to just release a little bit of that tension that you have. Let's continue. After I give my crown, I want to take a flight to the Philippines and maybe do a meet and greet with my fans because I know I have a lot of supporters in your country.
Yes.
It's incredible. Really. I feel so fortunate to have the support of your country, because your country is
Did
so
you felt
loving.
our fans?
Oh my, no, you don't
Tell us more.
understand.
Tell us more. I want to relive this.
Yeah, so when I was in the hotel of in Atlanta, I didn't just have the Puerto Ricans screaming Puerto Rico. I had the Philippines screaming Puerto Rico, and that just touched my heart. You know, because that shows true sportsmanship. That shows a supportive pageant. You know, fans
Yeah.
not just supporting for your own, but for other candidates. So that really touched my heart. You know, I had many bloggers from the Philippines just giving me true support and words of wisdom and motivation that I needed. And I will be forever internally grateful for the Philippines that were there in Atlanta, because they helped me as well. They were the fuel that helped me going.
Oh, a lot of Filipino fans are asking your impression about Gazini. Like maybe they want stories about if you had a conversation with her.
Yeah, of course. Gazini, hello. She's what we call it in my country, mujeron. Like, she's beautiful. She's a woman.
Mujeron.
Mujeron. Yeah, she's like
That
a
sounds so
real woman.
sultry.
Yes. she's beautiful. She's tall. She has a presence. She has charisma. So it's easily to spot her when you enter a room. So automatically, when I entered the first day Miss Universe, I was, scanning around, see if I see familiar faces, and instantly I saw this scene. I said, "Oh, wow, she's beautiful." So she really had a great first impression for me, and I'm sure for many other people. So I went over to her, I introduced myself, and she, very welcoming, super sweet. I mean, I felt like you, when you first talk to her, you feel like, oh my god, do I know you? Because we're talking as if we've been friends for years.
Yeah.
And I love that. I love that energy. It's rare to find people like that. So I really gravitated with her in that aspect. And but yeah, we would work, be close to each other during practices. Do our catwalks together. If she needed a photo, I'll take it. If I needed a photo, she would take it. So my experience with her was super nice, and she did a phenomenal job in Miss Universe.
Yeah.
She really
I mean,
did.
that stunning face, girl.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, we have another question from Heather D. Mendoza.
Hi, Heather.
She's asking if you had any experience or story with Catriona. I know you two met.
Yeah.
Catriona was like, didn't I send you the video? Wait, I'm going to send you the video. And she still hasn't sent it until today. So, Kat, in case you're watching, you better send me that video.
Yeah, so I did have a really special moment with her. Unfortunately, Miss Universe wasn't super long, so we weren't able to really have that like one-on-one connection with Kat. But thank God I was able, before the pageant, go and visit the Miss Universe office. So I was able to really talk to her. She was so sweet and humble. And while I was in the office, she goes, I want to talk to you. I was like, oh my god, okay. I was like super excited. I was like, okay. So we sat down, and she was like, listen.
And suspenseful. It's like Miss Universe wants to see you in her office right now.
Shaking. I was like, oh my god, okay. She wants to talk to me. So she sat me down. She goes, listen. I just want to give you a little advice in Miss Universe. Embrace it. She gave me the same advice I'm giving to you. Don't compare yourself. Just genuine advice that I was so grateful for, because you can tell that it's coming from a place of honesty and love. And and during that, I was talking about that I love her country, that I have a very, very good friend of mine in the Philippines, Nicole. And she goes, wait, NICOLE CORDOVES? I said, yes. She goes, no, I love her. I said, no, I know her. And it was such a bonding moment, because we both related to this beautiful ball of light right in front of us. So it was really awesome. That was like a really cool bonding moment that I had with her, because we were able to connect through such a great friend as Nicole is. Yeah.
And I swear, guys, like whenever Kat and I would meet any other pageant queen, we have to set them aside and give tips. We can't help it. We have to do it.
Yeah, no, and I'm really happy she did that for me, because I realized how important it is for a queen to help another queen. So I now make it my mission, now that we're looking for a new queen in Puerto Rico, that I take my time to talk to each and every single one, each of these
mentor them.
It makes all of the world of a difference. Like, it really makes them feel calm in a sense, because the queen went through exactly what they're going through.
Yeah. So what was the most useful advice that Kat gave you?
What was the most useful advice? Okay, so she said, when I was in top, these are her words. When I was in top 10 or top 5, I wasn't thinking I was in top 10 or top 5. I was just so happy to be there. And that really hit me in my heart. It was very profound for me, because it's true. We need to be so present in the moment that it doesn't matter the results, that we're just so proud to be there in that moment. She goes, and when I was even in top 3, like I wasn't thinking about winning. I was just so happy to be there. And I was thinking, you know what? That is so true. You know, I have all this will to win this crown, and I want to perform my best. Then maybe sometimes we take ourselves out of the presence to just focus on, what am I doing? I need to say this. I need to focus on this. And once we just release everything and just be in the moment and be in the presence, we can talk from a place of honesty. We can be more transparent and authentic, because we're not coming to a place of trying to impress. We're coming to a place of who I am. So that advice was really, really helpful for me. And that's why when I was in top 10, top 20, top 10, top 5, I was like, oh my God, I'm here. Thank God. That's it. Not like, okay, I have to do this. So that was a very good advice that she gave me. That is so many.
And he has a follow-up question. What do you wish you knew before entering Miss Universe?
Oh,
that could be a helpful tip.
Let me think about this one, because I want to make sure I give like a good answer. What did I wish I knew before I go to Miss Universe? I guess not. I don't know. I feel like I had a really great team to help prepare me. I also spoke to past queens who competed in Miss Universe to get their input as well, their advices. So I didn't just walk into Miss Universe not knowing too much. I felt super prepared in the aspect of knowing other past experiences in Miss Universe. So that helped me tremendously. Maybe some advice I would give girls, because I feel that they focus a lot on what they bring in their luggages, like their wardrobe. At the end of the day, a Miss Universe doesn't win because they have the best wardrobe or the best hair or the best makeup or the best shoes. So to not focus so much on that, just make sure that you're focusing on showing up every day with a positive mindset, with love in your heart to give to others, and a voice and a mission. Because it is a platform for you to really make a change, and not focus on the clothing, because I feel like a lot of girls get so stressed up about that, like have the best so you know. So
in pageants and in real life.
True. True. Just wear things that make you feel beautiful, confident, and don't focus on so much of what people are going to think about what you're wearing.
Although now I'm very curious, like, was there a round where you were nervous?
Oh my God. Well, obviously I was like nervous in the portion of the Q&A, because I wasn't nervous to answer, because I actually like it. You know how I am. I like to, tell my opinion.
I mean, girl, 30 seconds is not a lot for you.
You know what I mean? So I really was not nervous in the sense, because I felt prepared. I knew I had the material in my head to express myself clearly and coherently. But what really made me super nervous is that those headphones is blasting reggaeton music. It's like
what music?
Spanish music.
Oh,
reggaeton. That's like that. It's like that. It's like a fast beat.
Yeah.
It's music. It's
but won't that make your heart like
you
a short circuit or something?
Like once I had that on, my heart stopped. I was like, oh my God, this is serious. Like, and I'm trying to focus. I'm trying to be centered, but with the music in your ear, I'm like, oh my God, how am I going to be focused when I get to that, to the microphone? But once those microphones come off, you brush it off, you get there, you say, okay, let me breathe, and you can answer. But that was like a moment I was like, oh my God, what is going to happen? Like,
that's nervous. Like a moment of readjustment.
Yes.
So it's like getting your footing back.
Exactly. After that, it's a moment where you have to center yourself super fast, because you don't have a lot of time.
But would you have preferred that, or our circumstance during Miss Grand, where we can hear each other's answers?
That's a good question. That is such a good question. Oh my gosh. Let me think about that one, because that was stressful.
You know what? This conversation makes me want to grab a glass of wine, but we're not allowed. There's a liquor ban here. Like, you know how a conversation is so good, it needs a glass of rosé.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Oh my God. You know what? Maybe I do prefer the microphone, because although it's a little distracting, you're still not focusing on what the next girl is saying. So maybe you're not comparing or stressing yourself out and saying, okay, then, well, she said this, I have to say so and so.
Oh, wait, so you like the headphones better?
Yeah, because you know what? In our year, in our circumstances, like, with all those booing and all that stuff, that I know affected a lot of our top 5. So maybe that helps, maybe calm the nerves. It just really depends. Oh my gosh, I don't know. Stressing me.
Yeah.
It just
But
depends. It depends on
yeah,
the person. But going through those
that's true.
two experiences, I don't know. Our year was very interesting at MGI. So I don't know.
Hmm.
It's a good question.
Very interesting and the most fun also
For sure.
at the same time. So it's like, what advice can you give to the 2020 candidates who are in the middle of their pageant journey, but then this pandemic happened, and then now uh, they only have their social media platforms really to like make their presence felt, make their voices be heard, and lend their voices to other people. So what could their role be? Like, what advice can you give them on how to harness this power and really just use it?
Believe it or not, I believe the girls of the class 2020 have a greater responsibility because they now have the ability to connect with not just the pageant community, but with the world.
Mm-hmm.
Because social media is not just limited to one community, which is the pageants or modeling or whatever industry that you're in. You can communicate with everyone now. So they all have a responsibility to be a voice. And to understand that the only consistency in life is change. I've said this numerous times in interviews, that it's inevitable. Change is going to happen. And we shouldn't fight off change, but just be adaptive and to accept change as something positive. So yes, we're going through a year which is unconventional. You know, never in history has this happened. Never have we been in a pandemic. So with that being said, let's not think that, oh, well, I don't have my chance to shine this year, or it's not going to be the same like the last year, or maybe in a couple of years when all this passed, and feel bad about yourself. No. Instead, think about this way. You guys have a greater responsibility. Now you can make a change. Now you can reach people in social media. Thank God that we have technology day and age, because we can spread information, awarenesses, and inspire people. Look what we're doing. They can do lives, they can do videos, they can inspire others what they're doing at home. You know, there's the internet is a limitless source of possibility. So I want these girls to really grasp this as something positive and to take it as a huge responsibility, because it is.
As early as now, even if you're just contestants for now, like you haven't been crowned as queens, you already have the moral obligation because you're already applying for that job.
Yes.
So you have to show that you're up for it.
Exactly. And I feel like now more than ever, Miss Universe is in a direction of where it's not the same maybe 5 years ago. It's to be a key speaker, it's to be a public speaker, it's to be a motivational speaker, so it's to be a voice.
Who do you think is your biggest competition during Miss Universe? I think let's put this into context, like before stepping foot in Atlanta and seeing all the girls, and after. Because, you know, the girls are so different in photos, and then the aura they emit, and then there are a lot of girls also who start talking, and you're like, damn, this girl's on fire. You better be scared.
Yes, it does happen. It does happen. You know, they look a certain way on social media, or they portray themselves in a different manner, in a different light, and then when you meet them in person, it's like, oh, who's this? I don't know who you are. It happens.
Yeah.
It does happen. Obviously, before going into Miss Universe, I was looking at like the powerhouses. I was looking at whoever had the most fans supporting, reposting their photos, which was definitely like Colombia, Thailand, Philippines. Who else? There was a lot of fans with Vietnam. Vietnam was a big one. And I could go on. So obviously I was looking at those girls. Because why?
Yeah.
They were most frequent on my social media. And obviously
they have more exposure.
They have more, that is the word. They have more exposure. So obviously I'm going to be looking at these girls more. But once I got in the pageant, like, I really had to change my mindset and my mentality, because it's not who's my biggest competitor. Really, my biggest competition is my last version of who I was. I want to be consistently growing and evolving. So in that competition, if I felt like I was lacking, I worked on myself. I didn't blame the girl next to me, or I didn't compare myself to the next girl or the top favorite. I was focusing on me. This is a race,
Mm-hmm.
right? You can't be looking side to side. You have to look forward and focus on yourself. So that's what I did.
Yeah.
But obviously, it's natural to look at other girls, and see who has the most exposure. But once you're in like in the moment, like it kind of goes away because you're just so focused. Like I just was like a lion defending Puerto Rico in Miss Universe. Like I was focused,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in pageants, actually, that's when I thought I was the first thing you will do is compare yourself to other girls.
Yeah.
But at that moment, like when you step into a room filled with beautiful girls from different countries, it's like you can't even compare.
Yeah.
It's comparing apples to oranges, really. So
Thank you.
that's when I realized that your own enemy is yourself.
Yeah.
Like your mental state, like how you will respond to the competition, how you're gonna handle it. Like, are you gonna
And if not, you're gonna get
let it
sidetracked.
turn you into a sucky person,
Yeah.
or like a more amazing person?
And if you're focused on another girl that is doing a really good job, you're gonna sidetrack yourself. You're gonna sidetrack yourself because you're so focused on what the next girl's doing that you're completely forgetting about the things that you need to do, the work that you need to put in. So it's really important once you get into Miss Universe or any pageant, change your mentality. It's okay. It's a human behavior to look at a girl and say, oh, she's competition. But it's those moments where you remind yourself and refocus yourself. I said, okay, this is about being my best self and representing my country.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to beginners? My advice, for sure, is to understand who is around you. To really ask yourself, is this aligned with my core values? Is this aligned with my personality? Is this aligned with the woman I want to be? Because you're going to grow during your reign. You want to ask yourself if this is part of the voices I want as part of my growth. Because it is an influence. You are who you surround yourself with. Energies are contagious. So just to really be mindful of who you're next to, your team, is really important when you're entering a pageant. And another advice I would give is enter pageants with a noble goal and a noble reasoning. Entering pageants is much greater than ourselves. We have the ability to be on an international platform and speak about causes that are meaningful to us and our country. To take advantage of this. This doesn't happen every single day. I believe that people have this outdated definition of what being in a beauty pageant is, and that's just to be a beautiful face. Not at all. Yeah. We can be a change. We can be a voice for so many others, for the voiceless. So if you are thinking to enter pageants, go for a reason. Understand your story. Have the ability to transcend your story through your essence, through your energy, because you don't know who you can inspire just by your life experiences. So be prepared to be vulnerable, and be courageous to be yourself. That is my greatest advice for beginners in pageantry. Thank you so much, Nicole.
So watch out for that. Thanks, Maddie.
Bye.
You take care.
Likewise. God bless.
I can't wait to talk to you again.
I know.
Bye. Love you.
Love you. Bye.